So, the United States has made a name for itself as the land of opportunity due to the amounts of success that people have had while living in this country. However, what has been failed to be mentioned is that in order to attain this success, you have to meet certain criteria. And this criteria consists of being a white, cisgendered, heterosexual male. The less criteria you meet, the less likely you are to attain the success and to achieve the so called American dream. Now, what the American dream has changed over time. Its definition has changed over time as society has changed and ideas have changed and laws have changed. Um, it's no longer the nuclear family with the husband, wife, two kids, and a dog and a white picket fence. It's no longer that. But what has remained the same is that you need to work a steady job with a stable income, and a lot of these jobs are incredibly competitive. Therefore, applicants are constantly trying to outdo each other by increasing their skill sets or getting more degrees. Despite their many qualifications, these qualified people will be overlooked if their competitive applicant is a white, cisgendered, heterosexual man. Now, discrimination in the workplace, especially against women, has been an issue ever since women have had the opportunity to work. However, when a woman identifies with more than one oppressed group, her chances of moving up and earning more money become lower and her chances of discrimination become higher, which is why my paper will be focusing on how Latinx women and their intersecting identities affect them in the workplace. The two theories that I will be applying to my paper are intersectionality theory and the structuralist theory. Now, intersectionality, the theory states that discrimination is experienced differently when there are multiple identities that intersect with one another. So, a woman faces discrimination because she's a woman, and a Latino man faces discrimination because he's Latino. A Latinx woman is sort of met at a crossroads with both identities. In terms of the workplace, however, we can apply the structuralist theory, and this theory examines how the relationship the relationship between outside factors like societal conscious and unconscious bias and the employer's position, how those affect an applicant or an employee. And these discriminatory behaviors seem to be out of the people's control due to the way that they were embedded in the workplace since the beginning. Now, in terms of getting hired, many employers are supposed to look at a person's qualifications. However, their unconscious bias tend to affect their decision making. Studies from 2017 have found that 16% of Latino applicants have reported not being called back simply because of their ethnicity. And another study specifically highlighted that Latinx women who are just as qualified as their white female counterparts are more likely to be overlooked when employees are searching for candidates. Now, once these women do get hired, they tend to be hired in jobs that are very low scale or very low wage, despite the fact that they qualify for high skilled and high wage jobs. And once they are in these jobs, they struggle with being overlooked for promotions or getting paid less than their male or white counterparts. And often these counterparts tend to treat them very differently just because they are a Latinx woman. And although there are acts such as the Equal Opportunity Act that are supposed to protect them from this type of discrimination, the people who are in charge who put these acts into place are not people who understand what we are going through, what Latinx women are going through. They have no clue what it's like. Therefore, they're not really making an effort to make sure that these acts are being followed in the workplace. And that's what the issue is, really. I think that what needs to be done is that the people who implement these need to put other people in charge. The people at these companies who look at this type of stuff like HR and stuff should be people who understand the issue, and they should be held accountable for them, because a lot of places aren't being held accountable. This issue looms a lot of importance, I think, not just for me, but tons of people of color and minorities who understand what it's like to be discriminated against in the workplace. And that's why I think that there should be more people with an understanding of the issue who should be in charge of implementing these types of acts in the workplace. Thank you.